rising, and that beat is hypnotizing. Oh, no, we run the show. Let's get louder, come on, lose control. Got to live or we get too old. Come on, shine, shine a little tonight. Let's get louder, come on, lose control.
thing.
There we go. Now it's working. Perfect.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Ice cream stuff.
Ah.
It's got 2 crossed spoons. I was like, why are there scissors on the ice cream?
Oh. But I can see where that would be. Yeah. Okay, and I added the video input, so why did you disappear? Okay.
No, something changed. Start over.
I'm like, what is the problem here? Okay, for the love of God. There we go. Oh, I think it really works like when you're like right in front of your face.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it does get a lot brighter.
And not have a lot of light push distance.
No, it doesn't.
Just show me the effect.
Like, chisel. Oh, I like that. Great. Oh.
So we're real thing, do your own research and trust me about it.
Studio mode and close this nonsense. Open this. All right, so I have to remember gray into the computer, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just feel it.
Yeah, because I think when I plugged it in, I effed up what direction I plugged it in. So, yes. So this is what I'm using for furnishing. I could have used that on this side also, but I like to use tan coat. Just so that the covers are pretty well sealed and kind of waterproofed. On this side, however, I use Sage. I just love the not the matte finish, because they do have a matte finish one. There's a little bit of a sheen to it. This also doesn't look like plastic or cotton leather. I another cover that I carried for a little bit that you can see that the patina and like the oils from the hands make it really shiny. Very similar. This color is obviously more green. This is more blue. This one I just put the satin sheen on, and this one had the satin sheen on for a while. And you can see how absolutely gorgeous the leather gets with time, with use. So, this is a trifold. This is one of the first templates that I made. I've since made revisions and kind of alterations to it. This is a second iteration that has also been sealed. And it's just gorgeous leather. But I definitely like the smaller eyelets and the pass-through kind of binding. So this is also a trifold. Gotta stop moving on the camera. And in case you don't know before, inserts to the notebook. These are for your traveler's notebooks to hold all of your items. Now, I have a pen sitting in mine and it's really chunky, so this length is, I've kind of had an overfilled notebook, but this length is more for the typical pocket notebook with like 3 inserts and like a folder instead of 5 like I have. And this one is brand new. This one has never been carried. It hasn't even been strung with elastics yet. But that's it. So I am been working on refining the templates to get them ready to have a class here at Mythical Family. Gosh, it's just, I wish you could feel how amazing, and it's still firm enough to be a notebook cover, but it's so soft and amazing. Yeah, so these are the covers. This one is more blue. I think this is going to be a more final template. As you can see, I don't even have the hardware in it yet, because I'm still working on finishing the edges. I dyed it yesterday, and we'll put the hardware in a minute. Once I finish, I've only done this edge so far. You can see the difference. It's really pretty nice edge without edge painting it. And this is what the normal flush side of the edge looks like. Edge painting, or not edge painting, but the varnishing. So I'm sure I can varnishing on the line, but it's not very sticky or anything. It's just a nice thin coat. I'm going to try to keep it from the front of the cover. You can use water and canvas cloth to varnish. You don't need the products. As much as these notebooks get carried around, when I first saw the Traveler's Notebooks online, there was a couple things that I was a little confused about in terms of why they were made that way. I love them and they're absolutely gorgeous. They're not trifold. The these Carmens are trifold, but the paper Republic, I want to say, is not. Paper Republic and the actual Travelers Company Travelers Notebooks are built like my husband's notebook is. So they don't have the travel. I am a mess playing notebooks and like cramming stuff in them, like stickers and folders and all of the crap. So I designed my templates to have a trifold because I know me and I can do it. But most people that have travelers and books, it's just gorgeous. It's just the notebook, fits together with this handed edge instead of the fold over edge. That makes sense. So I'm just lightly passing this over the edge and shining it. Like I said, you can use canvas and water. You don't need compounds for it. Or if you don't need one of these, I think this is like $3. There's fancy ones, but this edged compound goes, I'll probably be using this for a long time because I don't use it on the inside part. I just use it on the edges, and it's a massive jar. So I do like this better than what I was originally using. What I was originally using really felt like almost glue. Not as expensive as the token one. But it's you, yeah, it gives the same really good sheen and it waterproofs it, protects it. It had just had a tackier texture. It's probably honest to God the same exact ingredients. It's just fancy. This one has a little bit of a thinner texture. It's not as tacky. I love the gas and stuff. Are you going to make more of those videos?
I just made it. It's
Awesome.
like 25 seconds long instead of 10. But
What was that app that you had that made them like drive on it?
oh, I still have it. I forget what it's called.
Can you do that on the terrain? My husband built a whole bunch of grasslands terrain over the past week. Like meticulous piece. It's a stunning terrain. He's had a couple just chatting strings of him building it. But they're probably still up on the channel. If you like that kind of thing, they are such incredible terrain.
Yeah, it might work. It might turn a little.
Just because it would be really cool with that terrain to see it in motion, you know what I'm saying? I think I move this here, it's gonna shake the camera, maybe.
Does it use the
So smooth. And just seal the, fibers are sealed down. So I'm gonna let that dry a little bit and I'll come back and maybe delete some other little parts. I don't do edging on this because it's such thin. If I had the much, thicker leather, like belt thick kind of leather, then I would use an edger, to slightly, just clip a little corner edge, along here, but this leather is so small that there's no, it would just create like a point, it wouldn't create a curve. So I just use the varnishing tool. Like this. It's so smooth. Cells, images. These road microphones are incredible. That lavalier Rode microphone can actually hear your diaphragm. You can sometimes feel when you're using a bunch, it's not because it feels not sweet. And then it dries a little bit more, so it's really, it feels really smooth and stuff. Just really smooth. And there's different looks. I used to use this one thinking that the curvature of the garnish, it fits perfectly in size, but this edge I noticed, and even this edge, can sometimes be not a mark, not like a scrape or anything, but just kind of like a line on the. It does have a lot more contact with the It does have a lot more contact with the leather. This smaller one. Mhm. But yeah, I've just been using that. And a different one. And no one pressure on that, trying to smush stuff. Hmm. And they do make like to for dye and whatnot to the edges of the leather. It's like a pen that has this really cool like rolling tip. I don't know if that would use for edge compound or if that would just be way too much. You'll look at it. Honestly, see that pretty much exactly what it is. I haven't tried with these ones. I haven't tried canvas and water because I really do want to make sure that this thing is sealed. I know and attention for knocking these over, water, to be thrown in and out of my clinical bag. I have a bigger traveler's notebook that I'll show you in a second. Sit, try a little bit more before I do a couple more passes. That I have at home for like my commonplace stuff, and diary, month planning, and things like that. This little bag is the perfect size to go in the work bag, in a clinic. Just kind of planning out my work day. I do have a special planner insert in there that I made for and shift, and the one thing that's been stuff. So that is kind of, I did a real commonplace, journal in this one. So it's kind of, it's really small, really easy to try. This isn't quite as much. one thing about Epidemic Sound is that I wish we could make, playlists and play them when we're doing stuff like this, so that when the fog goes up on YouTube, or, stays up on YouTube, we don't get weird copyright crap.
Yeah, which is weird, because Epidemic Sound was designed to, it's, we pay for it, we can use it.
Right.
And these filters are just doing this job, it's a normal,
But I mean, like, it doesn't have a feature, like, while I'm sitting here streaming and talking, it's just like play a playlist. Like, if we had the YouTube, music on, and then when the video goes up and stays on the YouTube channel, we get weird.
it might be what you said.
It doesn't allow you to like play, if you can play one song at a time and you're testing them or seeing if you want them in your project. I was trying to do it at school when we had that mass casualty practice day for the students, because they have all those like EMS soundtracks and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, oh, maybe I can string a bunch of that stuff to play, one after the other, so we just have this loop of EMS, background noise to simulate mass casualty stuff. To add some realism to the exercise at school, and couldn't do that. Tried to like download the songs to my phone and then somehow use some other device to play what I downloaded continuously, which was done anyway. It's taken a while to do, so great. And it says that you can put it on the flush side, steam proof, coat to the leather. But I haven't tried it on the inside, and kind of working my way through this bottle of tan coat. This is the kind of dye that I use. Not that you can't use this product on convenience dye. This one you can't use on suede or Reebok, and I don't think you use this on flush side. It just goes smooth out, which is absolutely gorgeous finish. But as you carry it, it's from your hand and whatnot, will change the leather. I'm going to try and use the smaller part. I would have changed to the kind of black gunmetal finish with this color. Anything else really would look pretty gold, actually, would look silver. I'm not going to put it in, but let's just see if it's anything. And I'm hoping that this size one will see well. And the template. Really, Yeah, so it's really pretty too. It's actually really pretty. I'm not gonna put gold on it, but. I'm gonna show you the size eyelets that I was using. The 3/16 and everywhere that I looked, it's like, oh yeah, I can use these 3 millimeter eyelets, 3/16. These are 2 millimeter eyelets, and you have to see the difference. So, oh man, it's huge. So there's this size element, which is just way too big for this size. This is the size I have in my other people. But yeah, so the comparison of one to the other, I'm not understanding how that, there's no way. I don't know if you guys can see this. There's no way that that was the next size. Not on any phone, on anywhere. There's no possibility of being the case. Until but yeah, so that makes me laugh. These together are hysterical. Like it literally fits inside the other eyelet, which I don't know if the camera is focusing on at all, but yeah. So we're hoping to get these this size in the middle to stick. I just love how it looks. I can't do that here on camera because this Nokia table is not like a tree walk or I don't know what kind of table. Most level workers are hammering on and whatnot. So, get up and put the other one outside. Here. This table. Think, I was surprised at how pretty it is. Normally I'm a silver person, but it kind of been digging. Man, that's a really pretty color. Let's switch to the big shot. It's just really bright. This is weird. I'm actually kind of liking the gold iris.
Agree? That's really good.
What do you think?
I think the color on it, color like that, that's the black ones will blend and be very subdued and low key, which is also cool, but yeah, I like that. It's an accent to it, which is nice, it kind of just catches your eye. And I think that definitely looks better than just like a common silver.
I mean, the silver is
It's still shiny, but
really pretty. I'm just shocked that I like some of the colors.
So sorry. So. That looks good, but that's what
Well, and this looks good like right here, but all these, all 14 of those being that red shades all the things. I mean,
I think they have some meaning, but I like some contrast.
okay. This app is freaking rad. That looks so cool.
It's fun, if I set up better shots, that, a lot of fun.
Put the you know, backdrop up the way you have it.
I could, I've only got a certain number of them that I can do 55 credits to do them.
Oh, that looks really cool.
It's cool, fun. But that's why I stopped playing with it. They used up the free credits and was like, this is it.
I wonder if I did. I mean, because the gunmetal and silver work together, because some of my, you know, terms of silver.
The gunmetal and the silver will go good. The gunmetal will go good.
I'm wondering if the gunmetal and the gold, because like my, eventually I want to have the brass Lego pen. And I'm wondering if the gunmetal and then just the gold in the elastic slip. You know, so it's not too much gold, but it's just a little,
Just the two of them.
yeah. And then
Yeah,
absolutely. Because the charms are gonna hang on. Gosh, this is the first time in my life that my nails have been so long, I can't grab it. Do that. You know, just here with elastic. I mean, gunmetal. Is it weird that the metal is not the same?
No, because it's clearly, it would be weird if they were in opposite spots.
Right, if I had like one gold.
Yeah, that looks good.
And these are all gunmetal, and these are gunmetal, and it's just a little.
I would say if you do that, if you also give it its ear piercing on the cover, I would do the gold.
need to get both jump rings, like we have to, I don't know. So I'm gonna get the jewelry from these for,
I still
yeah, it just,
like, the gunmetal is more subdued, it does look good.
it just looks so good. With the teal, the gold. Mhm. Weird. Charms have silver. I don't have any, I don't have any other than as blue. It's just, and I put all these, jump rings on it, so it hangs really pretty from the elastic loop. So I don't have any blue charms. This is just a really pretty rainbow starfish. This, of course, I'm a really, I'm gonna put gold on here and we're just gonna see. This one, I'm just hanging out and streaming and working on this. So what up? The only other thing I think I would like to be in actual, not the
Like enamel black.
either enamel or like a matte black. That I would have been like, okay, that's cool. And they have the monster size ones in the shine. It just kills me. The size difference. This eyelet fits inside of the other eyelet. I'm like, this is fractionally not, don't tell me that these are 2 mm and that those eyelets are 3. I don't think that's how millimeter works.
I don't know, we don't use them.
Correct. Actual.
I was
Actual,
never taught how they worked.
you know.
Keep track of things in a group of 10. I don't know, that sounds complicated.
Don't get me started on 1,000 milliliters in a 1 liter bag, okay? And the person who shall go unnamed, because it wasn't me. I'm like, there's 100 pennies. That's still the milk. I'm like, I don't know how else. It's 4 quarters. I don't know.
Let's see.
So this is with all gold. It's really pretty. And even with the rainbow, I don't have gold charms. So weird, but none of this is normal blue. No. And honestly, I think I can take these out once they're in, just by like crimping the insides of them together. I just don't know if that, that actually ends up not liking them. Where's my big guy? This is the large one. Trifold, I don't know. And see, these are the bigger grommets. Now this looks more apropos to this freaking size, right? Like, come on. Oh, and also, such a I have a silver pearl inside like that. There we go. This is what this guy looks like. So you can tell there's definitely no theme. But this is the gunmetal and silver and then, shell is actually. So you can see that it's inside. That is just really pretty.
I like it.
I think I'm gonna do that. Wow, man.
That's,
It just looks classy and pretty and it sets off. It's totally, maybe I need more coffee or something. It's totally not my normal subdued, everything's black and yeah. But look how pretty, like my shell is gold. And I've got mixed metals and doesn't have to be. It's fine. There's other colors except for black. But yeah, this fountain pen, this is sea spray. And this little guy is the resin. But they make a brass one, and Traveler's Notebook also makes a brass one. That kind of is a little bit bullet shaped, and from what I've heard, people that try to travel with it actually get them confiscated by airport security, because whenever they go through the scans or like through the bags and stuff, it looks like a. If it's this big, what bullet is this big? Casing.
oh, good lord. That's somebody who doesn't know weapons. Because even a long like 308 or 300 Winchester mag is not that long.
Okay, because the trap in there, it's a little bit thicker, but the Traveler's brass pen.
That's somebody in TSA that wants a nice pen.
Okay, they're constantly getting them.
They're confiscating the pen?
Yes, because they say that it looks like a bullet. So, but the
Well, that
way
would be amazing if something looking like a bullet could look like it kills you.
yeah, I mean,
Looking alike doesn't do what
the Kawago one is shaped exactly like this, and it's just brass. And they have rose gold brass, and it's all cheap. Yeah, no, it's really, but, and then have the Kawago Sport aluminums, also. And if it's going to be my pocket pen, I already have the glass. Traveler's Notebook. That's on my trip. But I think I'm gonna do it. I think I'm gonna do the gold. I think it's gorgeous. I'm not really talking in it just to see what they look like. Probably the last one was black. I tried to order other gorgeous color plastics, but they were coming out of Hong Kong, and because I live in a stupid country, Hong Kong is shipped to us currently. Not even a stupid country, we're just a stupid administration anymore. So they canceled the order because they won't ship it. So, and oddly enough, sourcing the same really pretty color plastics, I've not been able to do so far. These were like almost 300 different colors, and then there's I mean, I love the gunmetal.
they both look good. My preference is definitely for the, it's not my preference.
No, I love it. It makes the teal, I think, almost stand out even more. Yeah, kind of like a statement piece. Most of the regular TNs, and even the release Carmens, they don't have any outlets. They just have the holes in the leather, which the leather is the same thickness as the leather I'm using. And I don't know how the holes don't tear or stretch, or they don't have any protection. So. Yeah. If I sit here on the floor, yeah, maybe to rip this down, which looks really good at the start blue. Is there a child awake?
I have no idea.
The other one, since I'm,
The visiting one's out running circles, he says.
oh, our son's home from college. And, it's been really cool to have him home. Let's just see. The Johns. I didn't post the stream to anywhere. Sometimes I post and see just to like in the sewing circle. And
I can put it there, I think I usually do it in just a sandwich, I think that's preferred.
oh, okay. Just because it's cracking only.
I'll,
See if our fuzzy and travel. Look at our
I
stream.
mean, it doesn't have to be work for
Colors.
2 hours, so.
Yeah, and she had a long, that was a good shift. She worked on that. You know, this is really, this is pretty. It's just totally subdued, which is, I like, but it's just a pretty nice thing. It's just cute. I don't know about you guys out there, maybe semester, well, one of them degree twice, which is nice. And not done 21 degree tracks for the semester. Doctorate, which I should be by, I didn't try the antique gold. Well, that's pretty too. That's kind of a, this is kind of a more like. Reminds me of like. See. I'm trying to say. And yeah. Tomorrow. So, this is just the, come look at the antique one. I keep making this and get up and stand and do it. This is pretty too. Old gold. That's the old gold. Right.
I think that strikes a good balance from having a little bit of color that matches the green better and still being a little subdued, like you like the green metaphor. I still like the red.
I think it's so. So this is
If
pretty.
you were making this for me, that's
Yeah, this is pretty.
it looks good. And the gunmetal looks good too.
This is more subdued, and it does kind of give me that like. Which one's better?
That ties to the next one.
This one?
That clearly ties to the next one.
Oh, does it?
I think so.
What about the? Charms?
The starfish charm is close enough to the color of the leather that I think the contrast in gold, the bright gold makes it look better.
Mm-hmm. And
Brass has an innate sort of antique looking feel to it, which is why those
And-
Chanel, you know, palette wise, it's closer to this one. But because it's brass, it just, to me, it matches better with this because of this just feels like where this is going.
And it supposedly will, like as it gets patina and you use it and touch it and whatever, because these are solid brass clips. That bright gold is just so pretty. But yeah, the older, the burnished, the old gold, I was like, okay, this is kind of, gives me kind of like a, I don't know. This is more modern and this is more like, hey, I found this in a trunk on chick. This would be weird if I mixed them out, wouldn't it? It would look like something was wrong with the holes if I did the two middle ones in bright gold and the rest of them in antique pop.
I think it would look, it could work just fine, especially if you use something bright for the board. But
I am hoping to find a sea green, like that dark teal cord.
there is something steampunkish about taking something that looks like it's old and has been modified, repurposed, so it looks weathered, it looks patinaed, it looks worn out, and there are shiny parts to it because it's been modified or tweaked or tinkered with.
Right.
So that is part of the steampunk aesthetic. I just don't know if that's what you're looking for. I would say
Just
if,
kind of a
if you did this,
ocean, and then this is gonna be down here, you know, the shape.
if you did this, you should have something. I know it's just where the cords tie, but it should have something bright in there, like this was modified and this was done on purpose. So I don't know that I would do that.
Decisions. Man. And these are, you know, charms, they're gonna be, so. Because originally, I went with one color, just because. It's really made kind of on the black, the one that I have on the black, it's like an antique, oh, it's like nickel, I think is what it's called. So you can really, you can see this in, on black, you know? They didn't have this in gold, I don't know that it's done with any reason if they have. But this color is darker, the gunmetal one is darker than this. And then the other one, speaking of which, then I do have the dark gunmetal on here. With the, you know, big marks. This is a different font than what I showed you. This is made by a different company. And it's a darker gray. And then nickel is in the one. And this would be more close. This is a greener version of, this one is more blue teal, and this one is more kind of like a sea green. You can see from the inside of flush side how green this is. Okay. The different colors of that. Whereas on the outside, I feel like they really kind of, this one is definitely more green and more blue, but the flush that we could use. So yeah. And I don't really want to have to yank them out of here. You know, honestly, I think if I'm gonna do subdued, then I might as well just do the gunmetal, you know what I'm saying? But if the point is for it to be subdued, even though it looks good with the brass fittings and it's more of like a seafaring kind of pirate vibe, which is my follow me. If I'm gonna, I don't know, man, it's so good. The gold looks so good. What do I do?
You already have them coming.
Yes. I'm not gonna do the gunmetal, just between the pirate gold and the bright gold.
If you want to
Can I see the bone so we can get a picture of this?
have sparkles or do you want to be subdued?
I'm getting a lot of spammers on there.
I'm sure it's bots. They don't even know what they're connecting to. Kids walking around.
That one. And my phone just showing me for some reason that was so easy. And I do have another iPhone on it. Stream it. So we can beautiful. Oh, my audio. Working. But she's the most beautiful song. Cute, gorgeous. She currently song died. If you Google that, her song, it's even. Does that train pack away? Okay, it'd be so pretty.
I am, and I don't know how to transfer it. It's not going to stay on the table. It's just on the table.
Do we need like just smaller individual totes or something for like each set or something, you know?
No, because that'll be a nightmare getting to and from and in and out of a location. So I'll have to figure it out. Step one was simply assembling the kits that I already had, and we're just sitting around doing nothing.
Yeah,
I have one more to do. There's a couple others I'd love to get my hands on, but I also don't know where I'm going to put them assembled. And I've got other things to budget for, so
yep, I think we're gonna do it. Yep, we're gonna do it. Yeah. Because just flipping back and forth between them.
somebody else moving around the building today, I'm sure. What they're doing, it actually sounds like they're moving Heather in and out of an office. Keep hearing like boxes and chairs. They might just be packing up stuff next to or packaging things. I don't know. That sounded like a chair to me. Or they were getting control of it. I also been upstairs, there's no lights or any activity.
Huh, okay, it just sounded like something like, there was like a minor car accident, or,
Ran, she got parked here in the other spot, because somebody was already in the building dock. The other trip left, and attempted to go shovel and steal that spot and park next to it. But that's just proactively being a butt, which I think.
caliber, and the child was awake. I told her and the nuisance child to either get on the train or go at the days.
We ready to get to work and cross our fingers so she doesn't work on the phone.
She says the first one, too much gold, and the second washes out the gold tag. First one brings a pot of color and ties it in better to the skin. She likes the antique gold.
She gets the right gold ties in too brightly with the white tab.
Yeah, she says it washes out the.
From where it's all going to be.
This sits in the notebook.
So we'll be seeing from
Yeah, so the tag won't be visible except from the front. Okay. She still thinks the first one fits better.
They all look good. It's not like any of them are.
No, yeah, they do. I think that's why I'm having such a hard time deciding, because I do like the old gold with the teal and like the feel of it and like the seafaring kind of situation. This bright gold feels very like new, modern, just like, yeah, very new, very modern, like not old. It's
Deciding to get it. Time, deciding which time to have.
I was thinking, my man-sized child, if he had his driver's license, take it to work. And then I started laughing at the thought of those two.
Yeah, I already thought about that when we were coming home late last night. Me going, God, it's 2 o'clock and I don't want to be on the road right now. And thought about, boy, that would be nice. And then the thought of the two of them alone without us terrified me. I'm like, no, we're going to wait a while for that.
Oh, jeez. I don't know that she can do it. She might be a little more about.
Well, if that's the option, then she can find money to do it. If that's the option.
Just because he's so new and being, you know,
I get it.
worried about him, right?
Get it. But it's also other people trying to help her take care of her obligations. Sometimes full say in the options is not something.
Can you put my chili mat in there? I don't know what is.
Spicy, let's just read the section. There. Do not add water.
Okay.
All capitals blocked in yellow.
Oh, okay. I'm surprised they don't have like some strong admonition to like take the metal top off first. So you don't electrocute it.
Peel back the cover.
Oh.
Minute and a half, supposedly. Okay.
Yeah, she likes this idea. Where I have the antique, where there's a lot of them in one section, and then I have a pretty gold minerals accent. I wasn't thinking she's gonna go for that. Normally she's really into uniform, but she says it ties everything in nicely. The gold with the clip, and then the antique with the silver. I like that because I want the gold in there somewhere, but I also do like the antique. Too much of the gold makes it feel like it's, I don't know, totally the wrong vibe, like not gold seafaring. But then the gold is pretty, but none of the gold sucks. So we'll compromise. And part where the string, which will hopefully be some kind of pretty teal green or sea green, source of I made a pattern with putting the bright gold in the middle, and then it's on either side is the antique gold.
So it's the 5 straight down the middle, basically.
6, yeah.
6,
2
2
top,
sides.
2 middle, and 2, and the antique gold, and it actually, and I thought with this, it actually is, I like it, weird. Because just the gold in the middle and the antique on the top and bottom, it's pretty, it's really pretty accent, but I don't know, it just kind of looked odd, like, did you run out of grommets? This looks intentional. It is. Didn't miss. Oops, sorry, let me get my phone. Yikes, but it wasn't. Not moving. Oh, I hit the top and I thought that wasn't. Okay. I am. And then just try to smash that together. New beads in here. These I like Amazon by themselves. Guess on YouTube version of this video, if I remember, I will put the Amazon link because they're actually really good quality and they're nice. And I also got this on Amazon, set them so the larger grommets I got tool at Tandy, and it doesn't have this post in the middle here. This part. This is the hole punch for the grommet. This does not work. So this came with it. This is a tool that came with it. I bought a separate hole punch at Tandy with the tool. The tool's like $7 too. This was about $7 on Amazon. But this fits into the base, and it's this little indent right here. I don't know if the camera's focusing or not, but this little indent right here, the shiny part of the eyelet has to sit in there, and the tool goes on the opposite side of the leather, the flesh side. And with the other one, it doesn't have this post. It can be hard to hold the leather and the eyelet in just the exact right spot when you use the tool and hammer it straight down to roll the eyelet back onto the leather. And if it doesn't sit in this little donut right here, it really F's up the face, the nice side of it. Don't ask me how, okay? It just does.
Go to here. I'm gonna be right back. Okay. Turn the mic off. It's not.
Let's get some sun, baby, it's time to go. All we need to put on is the radio. I can feel the heat is rising, and that beat is hypnotizing. Oh, no, we run the show. rising, and that beat is hypnotizing. Oh, no, we run the show. Let's get louder, come on, lose control. Got to live or we get too old. Come on, shine, shine a little tonight. Let's get louder, come on, lose control. Ain't no limit when we go for gold. We can shine, shine a little tonight. Shine a little tonight. Shine a little Let's hit the club, time to make a move. We got it late, ain't got nothing to prove. I can feel the heat is rising, and that beat is hypnotizing. No, we run the show.
Alrighty.
Please.
Definitely didn't look at the messages that happened to one of our children.
Oh, it's probably, Kai catching up to me, asking about the things. So, yeah, this was maybe $7 on Amazon with the hole punch tool, which I do have to say, with the kind of leather that I use, does not work. I'll show you the hole punch tool that I do use. So, this is what the leather looks like originally when I started it. These are straps from just cutting these off. So I saved them because this is perfect for patches, bookmarks, all sorts of stuff. Especially with these really straight lines, perfect for some leather bookmarks. Anyways, this is what the leather actually looks like. And then this is what I ended up with. But I could use the new charm or even this charm. Don't fall. They don't keep water. These are the other abalone pieces I have. Again, Michael on sale. Dirt cheap for the funds. Edge punch, corner punch, that is really freaking sharp. I'll try to keep this rubber back in there. Anyways, there's another little starfish that I have. Like one of the color. Well, this is the other base of the outlet there. This part goes in the raw, end of the bonnet, and you hammer it down and it rolls the metal piece back onto the leather. It kind of like bite into the leather. But see how there's no hole here and there's no stick. So trying to keep the eyelet centered in this divot can be really hard. But this is just a regular tool from Tandy. switching to maybe like the you always want to make sure when you're working with these tools that this I got at Tandy, this is really freaking heavy. I think next time I would get, it's like a white handle and the handle part of it is actually this way. And the stick is like maybe this long. It's kind of like a, what is that called? The thing that's not shaped like this, where the head is rotated and this, the stick is shorter. A maul. Is that what it's called? Like the stick comes out of the long end and you
What is it used for?
leather and other things. It's like a white rubber head instead of this mallet, the camera shape. Is it a maul?
A maul is usually a large.
I don't know what it's called, but I think in retrospect, because this is such a long handle and this is so heavy. I got this at the shop, I got this at Tim, so that's what this is for. But this is so heavy that I would get the other one because it's really easy to damage your tools or to hit it too hard and like smash the tool or the eyelet or whatever. I would get the shorter one where the head part of it is actually not perpendicular, but in line with the handle. I don't know. I would get a different one next time. So you can use this for hole punching. This is the first thing that we got, which works great if you have a pattern and like you've drawn the holes on your leather. And then you can just, quick punch really clean, pretty holes. The back side of this is open, so as you continue to punch the leather, the little leather punches just come out of here. You don't have to worry about them just sitting in here. The more you punch the leather, the more they travel. However, the holes in the middle of the leather, you standalone punch. So this guy, for like this hole that I have here, I would probably use this one. So you would take this guy, and you would put it on your pattern, wherever it was, and then take the hammer and punch that. You always want to have stuff underneath it, so that you don't punch a hole into whatever table you're drilling or crack, marble or granite or whatever surface you're on. This is a hard kind of cutting mat. They make these more thick, cushiony kind of cutting mats that are advised so that the really fine metal edge of your cutting surface doesn't get chipped or dulled or damaged. So far this has been okay, but you can see where my punches have cut into the mat. That's exactly, this punch hole right here is exactly this thing going through the leather, and it's protecting the floor, but it's not really great for this tip. And also learning to smash the punch. So, this is another thing that I have that I used on my husband's notebook to typeset. The one challenge that I had with this was not knowing how to line up the type so that this spaced heading level, if that makes sense. Like I could spell out a word and lay out the type, but this punch is how you attach the letter. So I don't have like a setting block of any kind. There's this little notch so that you can see, that. There's this little notch so that you can see where the bottom of the letter is, so that you don't like inadvertently, because looking at it from this angle, you'll be able to tell what's up or down. so that inadvertently you don't punch the letters in, but still, when you're putting them on the letter, you know, this base is inset, so you can't just use this. I don't know, it was really hard for me. I couldn't figure out how to set up a guide so that they lined up exactly how I wanted them without interfering, without being in between this surface and the leather. So that when I punched it, it didn't go deeper. This is a great typeset. It's like an old typewriter, kind of. And I love it because I don't really like the scroll or fancy ones. I just like the basic old school sans serif kind of type. This doesn't have punctuation, which sucks. And I don't know if it has an at symbol and an ampersand, and there's no exclamation point, comma, or quotations. I don't know, because of the size of this, that's just not possible. But I mean, they did the letter I, so exclamation, who knows? But for the most part, and now see, this one says 1/8 inch, and it says 3 millimeters. That makes sense to me. Why the eyelets that are marked 3/16? That's bigger than an 1/8 inch, just barely. Those are also marked as 3 millimeter. These eyelets are marked as 2 millimeter. None of this makes sense. Okay. One is the size of like a peppercorn, and then the other one is the size of a pea, which is how you would measure things in this picture, is by using inanimate objects that have nothing to do with actual units of scientific. Although I will say we don't ever measure in full. So whatever measurement that's supposed to be, we don't. Came across that when I was looking for folder sizes to make folders for the traveler's books, and was like, what? There's 84 size, and then there's full size. I don't know what that means, and shockingly enough, it's not an American measurement, it's actually a British. So it's not just us on this side of the pond. All those feet are, that's like a really weird measurement they have, and I think it's mainly. Okay, so for elastic string, I have a bunch of jewelry bindings, lobster clips. All of these are gunmetal because that was the colors of the leading thing that I was working on. I don't have any gold ones currently. I don't think I would change to gold because I think it would be just too much anyways. But a lot of these things are really handy to have on. This is a super cheap box, so that's why it tends to elastic on it. But jump rings, these are called jump rings. So you want to have jump rings like this to attach charms, to do the little like cover piercing that I have on the large journal, which I've never seen anybody do, and that was like a thing. And then these are larger jump rings. I try to lobster clasps. I started putting the longer charms on lobster clasps so that I could interchange them easily on the backs, the spine of the journal. And then these are little tiny jump rings that I use to make chains so that the charm hangs from the spine or hangs from the little loop piercing and then it's really perfect. And it's not pinched up at the top and kind of like sticking out at an angle. So I use these little jump rings. never sure if this software is actually focused in my head. It's not, I hope it is. But I use these little guys to create chains, like that's available. My this guy, so little jump rings like this. So, because if this piercing one that's up here, if I had just attached my shell to it right here, the shell would just be stuck, sticking out like that, and it just really weird. So I used a lobster clasp and then these little jump rings to make a chain, and now I can interchangeably take this off and on, or I use the large jump rings to seat the charms on the spine on the elastic, or to seat it on the elastic here so that it slides evenly. Now, one thing I will say is that these notebooks, normally the trifold notebooks, the Louise Carmans that you see, even the traveler's notebooks, their hole for the tie, if you will, comes out of the back of the thing. So here, this is the front of it, their thing comes out here. The other like the traveler's notebooks that come from the Travelers Company in Japan have a single hole here and not a dual. They just have one hole that looks like this. They don't have the iris. They just have the cuts in the leather, but they have a single hole, and their notebook doesn't have the fold. It just sits flush, open edged like that. But these Carmans and other ones have the hole for the tie come out of the back. I don't do that because I always have charms on mine, and when you open your notebook, if this tie is in the back, when you open your notebook, whatever heavy charms you have are immediately, forced to be under your notebook. That and the elastic coming off are all underneath your writing surface, and it drives me. Sorry, let me show you. So I put them on the back here, so that they're up to the side of the back, and this is just sitting flat. There's no wobbling, so I'm able to access my notebook. So this is kind of what the notebook looks like inside. This is a blank inside. I just haven't taken it out because I have the elastic, and I don't know why I'm taking it out. I'm not using it. And this notebook is so big that I really have to. This is a craft paper folder that I made. And this is the other brass clip. But yeah, you just keep like your writing board. So this will go in between the sheets of paper as you're writing. It's got measurement on the back, but it keeps like fountain inks and bleed over from happening. But the craft folders are pretty cool to make. It's been kind of difficult to find like really good patterns that are easy to cut out and the right thickness of the craft paper. That's been difficult. But I keep, these are stickers that I made. Like stickers I bought, more stickers that I've made, sticker sheets that I've made, D&D stickers that I've made, and there's a bunch of paper that I picked up. But yeah, so that's craft paper folders are really good, just kind of keep your nonsense together. So that you can, I have these little clips right here, slide onto the paper. So in your notebook, they don't stand out very much, but in your notebook, you can see, what the page are on. But just adding stuff. So this is a commonplace book with a symbol and symboling my thoughts kind of thing. And then this one is for the ritual nurse. for product ideas, as well as the idea. So products that I'm working on for the Virtual Nurse. These are all stickers that I've created for the Virtual Nurse. This isn't all of them, probably like 30 stickers that I've made for the Virtual Nurse. And then just an open page for me to jot down more sticker ideas. And then I left some space so that I could, plenty of space to add. And then planner stickers, this is a specific section of stickers that I've made. The RN Daily, self-care, book talk stickers. And then this is for the list. The list is a anxiety planning tool that I made that I have in digital format, actual physical notebooks, and then actual stickers now. So I use a paper clip to just kind of signify where I am in this notebook. This is my month plan, kind of all-in-one planner book. Not work specific or day specific unless I want it to be, but this has everything in it really. I use paper clips to kind of keep some of the pages together, but so my yearly planner in the front, this is my sticker. And then I have the weekly plan to start off the month. And then my daily stickers that I made. This is one of the list stickers. And just the ability to do notes and pages, another list sticker, day, list. I made that one list because I hadn't printed some of these, so I just did format myself. That's weird. Yeah, the list and then my daily plan. Before yesterday, I'm bored from home and in college, and then I'll work on this tonight, and I'll move this clip to here. I rapidly realized that this clip is not going to keep the nonsense in place, so I'm probably just going to continue to use it for the front. Just a part of my own decoration, but it's not going to hold my so yeah, this is what stickers look like before they get in the planner. And these are formatted for both this size, and then I do have, not this one, but I do have day stickers formatted for the smaller size. This is a B6 lunchtime, I don't know how to pronounce it. Notebook. Lots of little tiny spaces. But I'm going to string this other guy with elastic. And put the inserts back in it. So let's use it. I think that this template is a success, but this is what they look like when they're. So this is at home. I have, basically the equivalent of like 5 or 6 separate journals that would be stacked somewhere in one portable, contained, gorgeous thing that can just come with me anywhere. My other fountain pen does sit in here, that I write with. All of mine, instead of doing the typical traveler's notebook, I did a trifold. And my trifolds are a little bit longer because I know that I'm going to have really chunky books. And I just love them like that. But this is about a, what size is this? So just a skosh over 8.5, and I think it's 17 inches long total. Um, yeah, about 17 inches long. The midpoint is it's about 10 and an extra. I just designed them to fit the notebooks that I want to have inside without them sticking over the top. So the Moleskine K-Here journals, the medium that I have in here, this notebook is designed to contain those without them sticking into the top or out the side. I think the Travelers Company actual notebooks are different, slightly different size. Proprietary inserts and things like that that are really cool. This guy is designed to contain field notes. So it's made for the field note size to sit perfectly inside the cover without coming out, over the edge, without sticking out over the edge like this, when you have the notebook together. It'll fit in here and just sit perfectly comfortably inside. And same thing with the Moleskine lower pocket journals, which are the same size as the field notes. So it fits those. This is my insert that I created. I have to figure out how to bind them so that like the center binding doesn't stick out the front like this. I think I may have to bind them in sections of like 7 or something like that, or whatever, so that it sits flush and doesn't stick out. But this is what I created. So I've got my month, my tracking, and the days. So I have my day tracker and then a note space for that day. And every week has a week front end. So you have your week number 2, appointments, goals, days of things to do, specific days where you have to do stuff. On Friday, I practiced my dissertation. And this is what I carry with me daily, so that I have this on a daily basis. In the month one, that's where I'm at shifts, so I can see what location my shifts are at and where I'm at, the calendar, serious days that I can't forget, and then tracking, really for whatever you want to track. I would split the month into halves so that it would fit nicely, but then also, you can track whatever you wanted. Yeah, and it's just the week. And it just keeps the month really streamlined. And then this is the cover that around it, so that when it sits in the notebook, it just fits in. It's really great for a dark academia book one. This is a cropped folder that I made for this notebook size. You have, your pocket to hold things, and these notches, the elastic comes out of here, runs through it, so it sits nice in there. And you have your, pockets for things, or pockets for things here, to hold stuff. I keep a lot of little ephemera bits, just stick them on other stuff sometimes. And a pencil card to write with. And then folder and stickers. I don't know where I don't know my personal stickers like that I need. And this is just a nice one. And this is just for scribbling, writing, and testing out my time. Yes. I have other stickers that I need. my doing when I, wasn't just looking everywhere, I wanted to make sure that I could have my pen and have this with me. At the same time. So the template has to be sturdy enough, thick enough to contain all the bits. And this is just a craft paper folder. Or travelers and this guy. And we have 12s. So the Travelers Company makes a passport sized portfolio. And this is the size of the passport. That is way too small for me. You can see the size difference with the field notes. So the leather of their passport cover, this is the passport size. So their cover is actually this size. That's their leather cover looks like this. Minus the end. So it's just this on both sides. It doesn't wrap. But that's the size of it, and it's really small for me. And it's a really cute portrait size. But I love the field notes, and the field notes would stick out of their cover, would stick out of their leather. So I made mine just big enough to fit field notes, and it also comfortably fits passport size stuff. This one. Just because, yeah, I love having the stuff. I think I'm gonna organize how this goes in there. And then folders back to back. There we go. So this will go in here, and then it will wrap. So this new template, I have all that good wrap in there. And it sits so securely and smoothly, and then my rubber bands in there, and it nice and chunky. I even got space for another pen move, highlighter, and kind of fountain pen. I can't fathom putting another insert in here. I'm already at 2 folder inserts and 4 paper inserts. But I could if I wanted to, or if somebody else wanted to actually, let's try to make this size book. It's like a hardcover. This is thick enough that you actually could have a hardcover and like 1 or 2 soft covers in here, and you conveniently have a perfect folder space. So this template, these ones I made myself. Smaller hole size with slip through elastic positioning, and longer Midori, or longer kind of loose garment wrap to contain it neatly. With the elastic on, that's what it looks like. Your charms hanging from here, and I didn't use a temper elastic, but it just sits beautifully. There's no lip or edge, trying to come out. You can, your pen is secured, your folders are squished closed, it just close perfect. So, that's incredible. So let's string this guy. All right, so elastic. This elastic is 2 millimeter, so it's going to be interesting to see the burned ends of it getting some groove in terms of putting through here. I don't use the 3 millimeter elastic. You could for a closure, like on my bigger guy, I could easily use a 3 millimeter elastic. But I can see with this where the ends that are hardened, because I, running to keep them from unraveling. go through the 2 millimeter. And when I fasten elastics, most elastics I can find for closures are just knotted, not knotted like this, but, you know, knotted like this, right? Just knotted like that, and then slipped through the singular hole, and then the knot just sits on the inside. I don't want the knot being in there either because your notebooks and stuff are up against it. So I actually clasp in elastics so that it sits smooth and that there's not a whole bunch of knots sitting along the spine up against your notebooks and pushing them out towards the edge. I'll have to see if maybe push this through or if they're not environment. Next. And then when they're stretched, slowly that just flows. Okay. Perfect. It's so nice to meet. With my other larger ones, you can use less eyelet holes and one more than elastic. We're trying to find fold-over clamps for jump rings from behind. Try to find fold-over stuff from elastic suppliers to print these. The ones that are actually a little bit longer on the little teeth, maybe, you know, things like that. Couldn't, so I found jewelry ones and I just snapped I cut the little loop off, which I guess I don't need to. But these have worked so far. I got a little bit of glue and when I smash them on, they're not very slightly moving, but they hold the elastic is great. And because this is up against the spine, you know, you don't really see that they're smashed, but they hold really well. And I just use some gel super glue. I get the elastic in there and it's a pain in the ass to hold it still. And apply the glue, let it sit for a second and use one of my fire tools to kind of pinch together and then I can pick up and smash each side of it. I like that a lot better because it's just nice and smooth up against the back of your notebook instead of knots being against the back of your notebook. And I haven't seen anybody doing that. I just kind of problem solving for things that are annoying me and trying to figure out like how to make one solid with the plastic when I have to get in 4 ways. And you don't want your elastic to be super tight because you don't want it to, to pull your notebook, but you also don't want it to be super loose because then your inserts flop around a lot. Like I think the elastic in the black one, the internal elastic, I think is a little bit too loose actually. Once I get the elastics through, then I will, you know, do that with it. This for a little chunk. What time is shift for work?
It's gotta be there at 5:30.
Is it actually 5:20 or is it 4:20?
It's 4:12. Maybe it just wants to get.
Huh?
Maybe it just wants to get high if it's still in its 4:20.
No, it's 5:20. Cool. You were getting your full adventure?
A little bit.
once I get an elastic is good, I'll test it first, pull it together, see if it's sturdy enough, and cut 3 of them, and then I would do the attachment one last, just because it's going to be a different size than the inside ones. It would be kind of neat if it was, I guess all one standard size, but um, but it will say that, the shorter ones, unless you're using it in the shorter ones, the shorter ones really, like this is the really like to put it in, so there's some flushes back. It does pull up just a little bit, but with your inserts in it, it'll keep it. Loose. It's not really tight to it. It's fine. Getting all these down so that I can add them to the template folders from the class. I just know that, you know, what size, length, and then situation. Unstretched. Tension. And get together. Try to get two on the fold. Okay. And just be these for first. Here's where it starts to look different, is when you're eating these in, and, you know, there's obviously stretch. To put them together in the thing, to glue, to do the thing. Yeah, perfect. Okay, there's one. All right, hopefully that really works fine. Yeah. No clips, actually. ASMR things with the weird, you know, sounds. I know that it weird on Twitch. The ear thing, get away from me. Really stretch. Perfect. And then the clips will just sit nice on the back and then three inserts, I'm gonna have to create a jump band. Two of them sit behind the folder section, so that it sits neatly back into the notebook. Great. And then we'll do the center. Now, center one, we have to figure out something to keep the elastic from sliding. Because it will do that. And it has enough to be perfect. Okay. I should use clamp or something. I only want the elastic that I need. Pieces I need. And the glue tools that are some shit. And far. And we have the top. Glue. I usually try to glue it together at here and match these up like that. Put a little bit of glue and sit there. And it sounds really easy. And I'm telling you, you'll watch when I go to do it. Suddenly, it's gonna be like noodles. Into or I really want to source the actual fold over plants for the elastics eventually somehow. I have Googled and Googled and Googled and this shop in Hong Kong is literally the only one that happened. I don't know how that's a thing. And the most gorgeous colors of elastic ever. What about take this? So, this one is these guys. So these are actually supposed to be used for fold over clamps. I'm assuming the ones that guy was carrying, like would have folded and like print the way that they're supposed to in here. These ones don't. So I may try to use these, but all reality, this is for the and all reality, I probably will be mashing them together. This is all here. But these were the ones that were on. I don't know if you can see, but they have little, which you can see. They have little teeth poking up. These little fluids right down the back or little pieces of metal that look up. And those seem to kind of bite into the elastic, spreading the fluids it because it would really stink to like pull on the elastic to put something in or go to close your notebook and it snaps you. See how easy it looks while I'm showing you? Just leave flat. I've tried clamping one side, like doing one side at a time, and it doesn't really well. I have a position exactly where I need it. Thank you. Is it, I can use that. Catch a ball. And fall with no tension. I know the last time I did this, my finger was so cramping. So this guy. For this. I think it's supposed to be used for this, but. It's not. Roll on one side. Special claims. National, sit against that. Slide in this one. Yeah. This is done. It's nice to proceed thinking further. Just because of the issue is that sleeping, good mistake. Watch, just watch. And inadvertently turned into a non.
You're a little mumbly, but I don't have my,
Oh,
and I have them.
okay. I had to move the mic because it was directly in front of my notebook. And it's probably blowing on people. When I'm trying to set this to, and I can't see because I'm using my phone to record. whoever you're talking to. But thank you for showing me that.
Oh, that's Val. That's one of the people we know from the TV and
Oh,
Mid Gulf Streams. Val,
okay,
Val is pretty good.
yeah. I'm preparing for that's not my graphic.
So you didn't want the spork, I figured that would be perfect for chili. It's good to ask you. Oh, it's good. I don't think you've tried it.
I've had a bite or two, and it is actually really good. I just feel weird sitting here on stream. I don't know if that's the thing people do on TikTok.
As long as you're not eating right next to the mic.
But I think that's also the thing.
But that is a thing, but I'm not.
I think that's the thing, and I will not be doing that. So if there are people working or watching, you don't have to run away and panic that you're suddenly going to get besieged with mouth sounds. From that.
Bang for your zone.
Oh, God, no. No, I don't want any mouth sounds, thank you. Please, no. Or that stupid, oh, God, whatever that mouth sound is that people make, that do the clicky, tappy thing, I can't handle it. Yeah, it's just watching it over and over.
This is sitting around for so long, it feels cool to only have one kit to put together. I'm not gonna do it right now, but
You
I have
really,
4 or 5 kits just sitting on the shelf forever. It's
Yeah.
cool, but I feel like I've done something.
doesn't look pretty up close, but that's okay, because you're looking for elastics in the back of the book, then you're probably too close to it. We'll just still. Yes. So it'll be nice and smooth, we'll sit back and then you can see it. These are a little tight, but stuff that I have that's gonna go in here is actually pretty heavy, so. I think it'll work out fine. And that's what it looks like strong on that. So let's do the move around. This is the link, but the last one, I think, and it's only been a little bit. Let me do it from over there. and our joint ends. Tell them that. Fold. Actually, that's about right. It's not like we're pinching the leather, it can make it a little tighter. The other cool thing about doing the elastic one is that you can do it off instead of fighting the stretch. And And the funny thing is, you think that you're able to do it in the mirror, and just kind of wherever makes it easier. It's so weird. So. This is the other thing. When you put the charm on, it's going to sit like that on the outside of the elbow. So when you put it on, once, yeah, okay, so you're going to stretch. Or maybe ridiculous about this. So I do have to figure though, how am I going to keep it from sliding through the elastic? Now this elastic is tight. I don't think this on there is going to allow it. I really don't. If for some reason it does, then I probably will rip it. I don't think it's going to. Oh, So if it's not gonna slide in and out, if I just did this like this, I would be stuck with it here. What is my malfunction at the moment? Why am I brain farting? Glad it stopped. Oops. Make sure to connect that. easier to watch too. And it looks prettier. To me. I'm still doing something with that. Oh. Load sugar or something. What is my problem? I need to be able to put the class together here. Where? Wow. To be fair, if I'm going to go to this today, then that's probably what my functions are on. Stupid direction to put the plastic in and it's one continuously. So, now the other charms I didn't put on the elastic just because trying to hold the elastic and trying to hold the thing and stuff is I will do those now once I finish this stupid part. first. Yeah, I mean, jump on music sometime. This fall. Figure that out. Make a small elastic loop. Much smaller elastic loop. So much. Almost a safety loop. No, not. So I will take a rubber band and band these guys together. And then I'm gonna put them. How many numbers? I should have done. Middle. Perfect. So now just this little guy. Maybe that's why I have him start breathing, because I will using a small elastic instead of a jump. Because the small elastic actually works really well for that form factor. Oh, what I was thinking cute. Come up. Yes. Excellent fold over. Love it. Yeah, come on. What? There we go. Perfect. Yes. Oh my gosh. I think this is pretty tight. I maybe could have gone a little bit tighter, but it would push the leather up against the zipper and start making a weird indent there. It's gorgeous. The leather does flex and stretch over time, so that does kind of present a little bit of an issue. This little homeboy, this little thread is actually supposed to go through one of these grommets. I don't see that happening, actually. He may actually have to come over the top. So that just might be a thing that's the thing. But let's reattach him. And actually, what I could do is do it internally at the top instead of having an external loop over. We'll see. So this jump thing is going to go on here. And I will close that. And this will most likely feed through here. It's a little coffee beans, the coffee bean TN charm from Japan. And this little guy will come down here. He was going through the grommet of the other notebook, but those grommets were also large enough for like 5 pieces of elastic, so there's that. It's not unheard of for the, which we call it to come over the top like that. Let me see how it's just. small as like the chain ones that I have, but maybe this size. Instead of, I don't know. I think if I remember correctly, when I had this size ring on there, it was pretty tight. Maybe not. This guy, jumper, smaller jumper. Maybe, other colors. So before, I had the black one on the top, which I'm always brush with black, you know that about me. And I do like the shade of this key. But, man, this pearly white is good. Easily swap out the key, so that's not a problem. The, oh yeah, yeah. Hold on. Let's just keep the jumper in the key. They do have a tiny jump ring, but I think it's going to be down. And I don't want the jump ring, I don't want this jump ring to be what holds the key or holds the charm. Should I put this on a lobster clasp so I can take it off long? Maybe a little more chain to it. I really should be making almost all of my charms like that, just so that I can. Just so that I can swap them out with them. These look like so hard to it's on other people. There's literally right next to my I keep having a punch though, so I didn't want to put the microphone back on my collar and be mouth breathing into the microphone into your ear. So, this is in the okay. And you're telling me, and then jail. And that one, and this one, longer ones, I sort out doing the covers and what. So I have that one. This one is more gold. This. This side is jumping on the wall. Oh, yeah, I definitely smaller. That's cool. And the gold is the, yeah. Yeah, okay. So. Service. am gonna put another jumper on that third loop, even though I'm not putting, putting something on it right now. It doesn't mean it won't. Perfect. So I'm gonna put one here just in anticipation of having. So that way it's not a thing. I don't have to dig my kit out and do stuff, find a cute little deal. And you can just, oh yeah, love it. Love it. Starfish, love that. Excuse me, so sorry. You are here. Perfect. Copy, Mark, I have pulled on this thread. Unbelievable. So it's not. I'm almost kind of wondering if I should do a dab of super glue or not, just to secure it. You know, because if I lost the charm, I would be crushed. Crushed. Almost stopped. And then, I wish I had a pin, but I have to. Weird. I do. These are supposed to be like you stack beads on them and connect them just the leather and I don't ever do that. I just came with the kit with jump rings and so they sit and use in the little kit here. So I'll put super glue on that and then use the tip of that to just put the super glue right in the middle of the mouth there. I think I have warmed up my food like 3 times. I think that's probably why I only ate 2 today. More than that. I am not using on this cover like I did with my big ones because I'm honestly trying to that my recipe. You know. Let's just go with I'm not doing it because to work. Not very far. But we are on the second floor basement in downtown Reno, which is a really cool shopping area in Reno. That used to be office, so in this landmark kind of situation. Yeah, and it has local shops in it. The vibe in this building is really unbelievable.
Cool. Instead of the black 405 patch. It's the same trunk.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very cool.
Same term. But it's strong and banded and dual and it just.
Yeah. Looks great. It's amazing.
Yes. But that template requires no editing, no nothing. I think the longest amount of futzing around I did was figuring out the fucking hardware to use.
It's part of the process.
I think,
It's not exactly something easy to change your mind on, so.
yeah, I just think that it goes well for the template being usable and ready to go. You know?
Depending on how you want to structure the class, you could almost let people pick what they want. The classes, you're cutting it out, and they can start by that.
That's what I'm thinking, is that, I may have them decide what form factor they want, the size.
And go over what's in it, how they're used, what to
Totally.
hold. That's the first part of the class, inform them on that. And then
Yeah, have them pick out what form factor they want. I think I'll have them do that at registration, because then I can cut the, leather out. And have that, ready for them, and then we can go over the dyeing. It is gonna be interesting to figure out how to get the dye. If they want it perfectly smooth without lines, and they have to get a paint tray. Or like a really shallow cookie sheet, like a small one. That, they, like that, like the owner, Sandy was saying, like to dip the leather. I forgot, I think she also said to spray the leather, but to get it lightly damp before dyeing it, and that keeps it from having those like hash marks.
Yeah, if somebody didn't want them, then yeah, and I can see a little bit of water helping the dye sort of spread out. So
Yeah, she said that it makes it so that it's not so thirsty, and it can, you can apply, you don't have time to apply that.
to me, that just makes it look like it's big. It's
Right, but I
when
mean,
it's fully uniform.
that's our preference, so if somebody wants it to be perfectly smooth and not, this one, I didn't even take, sorry guys. This one has streaks in it because when I applied the dye, I did long consecutive streaks, and to me, that looks like water, which is exactly perfect. Like this is, I don't want it to, like the striations in this, I think, and the different, like the blue, and there's a hint of green, and there's the darker blue that they got. This is a natural imperfection in the leather. I couldn't ask for more.
It just gives it texture and personality.
Look at this.
That's what that gives it texture and personality. It's,
I mean, this one is gorgeous.
It doesn't
The
look like
original
it's
one I did is gorgeous.
cut out of uniform plastic.
It just
But even that has
not quite long. Oh, this one,
texture and personality.
oh, this one looks like water. There's like a good color to it, and I've had this one for about 2 weeks, and you can see the beautiful sheen that's developed from my hands. Just picking it up and putting it and using it and bending the leather, and it's incredible. This one's gonna develop the same thing. Yeah, it contains everything and my pen, and I could even put another pen loop in there easily for a highlighter or something else, but there's enough overlap that it sits flat. There's no, it doesn't like it's gonna flip out underneath this edge. Oh, this is perfect. Perfect. I should have measured this center elastic. I measured the inside elastics. So I know how many inside elastic. And you don't have to have 3 holes. You could have 2, if you made with 3 so that you can have inserts. You don't necessarily have to. It's just perfect. think she could have, it took me, my brain like just stopped working. It took me like 5 minutes to figure out what direction to put these elastics in. I almost fastened it outside of the thing on this side because these rivets are, or these eyelets are so small, the metal would not have gone back through them. And I was like, well, that would have been absolutely disastrous if I had done that. And then I flipped it around and was trying to run it through the inside and I'm like, wait a minute. How do I put the charm on? And what direction do I feed it in order to fasten it to the inside? So that the metal plant stayed inside. And I,
That's, it's, you know,
it kind of felt like the night I was trying to figure out how to lay the book thing out. And I'm like, what is the matter with my, like, how do I spatially do this? And it never occurred to me that just putting them on paper, how, you know, the direction to fold it, and then the fact that the pages are specifically numbered. I guess it's a lot easier if they're generic and not numbered, because then,
you still gotta get the layout right. You still have to modify it. So that the right stuff is next to each other. To have them meet in the middle.
yeah,
It's a public. I don't think there are many people in the world who think that unless they do it regularly as something that they are involved with, or something they're employed doing.
yeah.
But you have the road figured out too.
What?
The road. Where
Oh, yeah. I put it down, because I'm like, I keep hunching over to get close to the project, and I'm gonna mouth breathe all over the microphone, and I don't wanna do that to people.
Yeah, it's just irksome when it's something. Something that you like to use and it didn't work last time. And we didn't have time to figure it out.
Correct.
So I'm glad it's cleared out of the cache. It works.
So that's just,
That was me that time.
and
And getting around the table. It's carpet. On the table.
do it new today, folks. So got the hardware in. Strong. It's finished. Oh, it's already starting to shine up a little bit. So that's it. If you are local, jump on our Discord. I will be finalizing the details and order operations for the class, but the whole point of the class is for you to end up with a completed cover, elastic, hardware. You know, people have brought charms. We'll make sure that the charms get on there. I will have inserts, both undated, I have a nursing one, an undated one, and I have a bunch of cardstock. So, print the right size insert and the cardstock, so you guys will actually have a custom, a cool insert. to put in your notebook. The other inserts, like these moleskin ones, they come in packs of 3. You can get them at Barnes & Noble, you can get them on Amazon, they're actually pretty inexpensive, these black ones. Field notes, you can also get, you want to get the small ones, don't get the big ones, because the big ones are different size. This is the National Park series that I have in here, but you can find those on Amazon, you can find them on Field Notes. You know, use those as inserts also. But, yeah, I'll finalize the class and get that up and post it for those that may be interested locally here to be able to actually come and do the leatherworking, custom develop the color you want. Currently we have like red, purple, green, blue, all of course things like black and solid colors for people to choose from. But yeah, I'm thinking it's going to be really fun and a great way to start the new year to get yourself set up for 2026 is to create your travel notebook for yourself and learn the process of doing it so you can create more and other variations for yourself as you go along. But that is it for tonight. So audio